What is up, guys? This is DT, and we are back with some Hearthstone, the Grand Tournament card previews. I was calling them card reviews. I think they're really just card previews because I have not played with them outside of some of the mage cards and hunter cards. So we're on to priests, and we'll probably do rogues at the same time. I like the two class format. So first card, 1 mana, restore 5 health, flash heal. This is insanely powerful. I really love it. Not only is it a great healing card, it's also a wonderful damage card for priests. I mean, 5 damage for one mana if you have a shadow, if you're in shadow form, or if you have a Ashen Duning Priest, or not Ashen Duning Priest, the one that causes heals to go damage. I mean, this is this is out there as far as damage goes. You get Malagos out there, and for 1 mana you're doing 10 damage. If you have the board set up correctly, yeah, this is a really strong card for both healing and damage. Very strong card, I like it a lot. Word of Glory. Power Word Glory, choose a minion. Whenever it attacks, restore 4 health to your hero. A pretty strong card. I like this played defensively. So you play this on an opponent's minion, and you basically you've kind of silenced that minion from being played. I mean, obviously he's not going to be attacking anything, otherwise he's healing you. And if he is healing you, then you know, what does it really matter? He could be clearing your board. That's pretty much all he can do with that minion. He has to either kill it or just not attack with it. So it's a strong card. It'll definitely see play in certain decks. 1 mana cost, why not, really? There's a lot of really good 1 and 0 mana cost cards for priests that kind of do the same-ish thing, but I could see a place in the meta for it. Confuse, 2 mana, swap the attack and health for all of all minions. An insanely powerful card. This is really nice. This is really nice. I like this card a lot. This is the type of card that I was saying earlier that Hearthstone needs. Lots of zaniness, lots of craziness, lots of big play potential, and that's one thing that really separates Hearthstone from like Magic or some of the other card games out there, is these big plays, big zany plays, you know, hey, did you see me do this type thing. And this has a lot of OTK potential. One knock, whatever, 1 hit knockout. Yeah, 1 hit knockout. That was not OTK. You get the idea. It has a lot of potential to knock people out in one turn. So, yeah, I like this one a lot. You could definitely set this one up pretty nicely. And there's not a lot that the opponent can really do, because you're going to be buffing up their health and healing them up. And then you're just going to confuse and just wipe the board. So, yeah, it's going to be really nice. That card is making me want to play Priest again. Oops. Convert, 2 mana. Put a copy of an enemy minion in your hand. Don't really like this one. Yeah, I mean, you're basically playing two mana to choose a minion and put it in your hand so you can play it. So I don't know. I don't see a point. I've never really seen a point in playing against yourself. The play against yourself methodology of Priest. It's cool, I guess. I'm just not a big fan of it. I would never play Convert. Yeah, not a fan. Wormcrest Agent, Battlecry. If you're holding a dragon, gain 1 attack and taunt. So it's a 2/1/4. This is ridiculous, like absolutely ridiculous if you have a dragon in your hand. And it's pretty good actually if you don't. So I mean, a 2 drop that's 1/4. It's going to be sticky. It's going to stick around at least until turn 4, especially if you can heal it. High health minions on priests are always value. You can buff it up, and if you have a dragon, I think Dragon Priest is going to make a comeback in this expansion, and yeah, it's going to be really good. I mean, 2/4 with a taunt on it for a 2 mana is pretty insane. It stops every aggro in its tracks. I could even see this being used in Arena. I mean, it's a rare, so it's going to be harder to get. Very few common dragons, but overall, I think it's just too strong to pass up, especially for Arena. So, yeah, if Dragon Priest really makes a comeback, I could see this card being played quite a bit. This will be the 2-drop for him. Let's see, 3 mana Shadow Fiend. Whenever you draw a card, reduce its cost by 1. 3 mana 3/3. It's weird because that's not really. I don't know. I don't think Priest has this type of problem where they have just high cost minions. Most of their cards are cheap, and they usually play cheaper cards that they can buff up pretty well. I guess you could play more cards, but I've always gotten the impression that Priests suffer from card draw, so not a big fan of this card. It's okay. Is there any other place where this could be used? Not really. Let me think. I mean, I guess it allows your one-hit kills to go earlier. I mean, because that essentially makes Confuse a 1 cost, Flash heals 0. So technically, this would. I mean, this is like a Thracian for 3 mana. So it's not actually that bad. Maybe I'm not giving this card enough credit. I guess it is kind of like a Thracian. If you can draw some cards on that same turn, if you drop it, draw some cards, I could see this being potentially strong. Because then you can chain a whole bunch of cards together, especially if they're in the 0 to 1 mana range. But overall, this is going to die next turn. You have no way of protecting it. Even if you buff it up with health, it's still not going to last for 3 mana. I mean, ideally, you'd really want to play this like on turn 9 and be able to play like a Malygos and Aushiduni Priest and Shadow Priest and throw a whole bunch of free flash heals up on the board or something to that effect. So, I don't know. It'll be a cute card. It'll be interesting to see what happens with this one. I don't think it'll see a whole lot of play, though. Let's see. Holy Champion, 4 mana, 3/5. Whenever a character is healed, gain 2 attack. Yeah, this one's really strong. This is probably the strongest of the Priest cards, maybe outside of Flash Heal. This is really cool. Also, I love the art in it. I can't. What does that gold art look like? Let's see. I gotta see the gold art. Oh, it's gorgeous. That is so cool. So yeah, oh, and that's really cool too. Holy crap! Wow. Good old Flash Heal. Man, that brings back some days. So, Holy Champion. Man, this is a silly card. Get a 2 attack whenever anyone is healed. On 4 mana. Yeah, it's a Berserker, essentially. It's the Berserker for Priests, but there's no. You can't really combo it to get charge very easily. I can't even think of a way you could possibly get charge. Maybe you might be able to get charge through a piloted shredder, maybe. I don't know. I don't think so, actually. No. So yeah, it's not really worth it trying to get charge on this guy, but you can protect it at 5 health. You can give it a couple of powered shields, protect it up, and just AoE heal the next turn and just swing for 10. It's going to be pretty fun. This is going to be one, again, just like Confuse, one of those cards that's just going to have massive swings in games, and it's going to be a lot of fun on stream to see. So this is the other card. When I saw it, I was like, wow, I need to play Priest again. So let's see, 4 mana, Spawn of Shadows, 5/4. Inspire, deal 4 damage to each hero. So, I mean, this is kind of like I think Crypt described it as kind of like a weird Shadow Word Death, like back when Shadow Word Death actually used to do damage to the Priest back in the day in WoW. So, because if you're using Inspire, you're probably going to use it on yourself, especially in your late game. You're doing 4 damage to both of you, but you're probably Inspire healing yourself, so you're actually only really doing 2 damage to yourself. That's pretty cool, actually. I do like that's a 5/4. You'll kill most 5 drops and all the 4 drops, and it'll beat. It'll at least kill the Piloted Shredder and live. No, it won't. What am I talking about? No, it doesn't kill. It doesn't kill the Piloted Shredder and live. I take that back. But at the very least, you can drop it on turn 6, heal yourself, deal 4 damage to the opposing hero, and then crash it into something. I don't think Inspire Priest is going to be particularly amazing, just because the hero power isn't very amazing in general. So you won't see a lot of Inspire Priests, but I think Spawn of Shadows might see some play in a Rushdown deck or some sort of Shadow play deck. I think they're going to really try and push Shadow Priests, and I think this is the Flash Heal is the hidden Shadow Priest card that they've been waiting for. So, and finally, Confessor Palatress, 7 mana, 5/4 again. 5/4. Wow, that's such a strange. Never liked the 5/4s. So, Inspire, summon a random legendary minion. So, to really gain value out of this, you have to play it on turn 9, 8 if you have the coin. But who keeps the coin? It's Priest. So, not a big fan. The fact that it's a random legendary, you're probably not going to get a lot of value as far as combos, as far as just having a lot of synergy. As far as the legendary that pops out, you don't have any way of. I think there's that common card that allows you to cast 2, so you might be able to cast 2, but not 7 mana. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this card. You'd really have to protect this card and do some fun stuff to try and actually get a lot of value out of it. Really protect it, buff up the health, have some taunt minions ahead of it, and hope that it just doesn't die to any sort of removal that's in the game. Because 4 gets removed by everything. Like everything. So 5 less 6, definitely not. So all in all, Priest has a really good deck. I like most of the cards in here. Definitely Flash Shield, Power Word Glory, Confuse, I like a whole bunch. Wormcrest Agent and Holy Champion are absolutely amazing. And Shadow Fiend actually might be kind of fun also. Going into Rogue. Rogue. So I'm not a fan of pirates. So there's a big pirate theme in this deck, in this set, and I'm not digging it so much. So first off, 1 mana, 2/1, pirate. Buccaneer, whenever you equip a weapon, give it +1 attack. So there's just not enough pirates in the game. And yeah, they're fixing it. And you can't just have a whole bunch of pirates. And maybe they should have done something like the Goblins and Gnomes and had a pirate expansion. Or a Murloc expansion. Maybe a mini expansion. That'd be kind of neat. Some sort of mini expansion would be kind of fun. Where they just release, 30 cards and they're all pirates or something like that. It'd be kind of interesting. But point being, yeah, this is not a very good card. So you drop it on turn 1. Turn 2, you use your hero power. You give it 3 attack, but then by then it's probably already pinged off, either by a druid or just about anything. Almost everyone has a way of doing 1 damage on turn 1, so, or at least turn 2. Pretty good for aggro, I guess, but you're not going to be using a weapon if you're in aggro. For oil, probably not bad in oil. I don't think it's going to replace any of the current 1-drops. I mean, there's no 1-drops in oil, but I don't know. Maybe that's value. You always use your weapon turn 2 as oil, so you never attack with it. So at least this would give a 3/1 on the board that your opponent has to do something with. So maybe I'm kind of underselling this card. Maybe it's actually not that bad. I don't know. I have to play around with it a little bit in my old deck, but it might work out, possibly. Probably not. I can't think of a card I want to replace that with. Cut Purse instead of Coin Purse. Cut Purse. 2 mana, 2/2. Whenever this mana attacks a hero, add the coin to your hand. Coins are great, absolutely amazing for rogues. This will be a very interesting card. A lot of people are underselling it because it's a 2/2 instead of like a 3/2 or a 2/3 like some of the other class cards, which is kind of strange actually when you think about it. Why is this not a 2/3? I guess because the effect is so amazing for rogues in particular. But again, you kind of run out of cards. I mean, if you have the coin, then you're probably saving it. You can only do so many things with the coin. I mean, every card you have should have a combo associated to it. And you usually want to chain combo cards over and over and over again. So you usually save your coin for an important turn that allows you to kick off a chain of combos. At least that's been my, that's how I play Rogue at least. And especially Oil Rogue. So I'm not sure if having lots of coins really helps all that much, because you're just basically using a coin per game, per one. You have one extra, you can use more combo cards every turn, but not. I don't think it's going to see a lot of play. Let's see, Undercity Valiant, 2 mana, 3/2. Oh yeah, here's the 3/2, that's right. So Undercity Valiant, so this was just kind of like a random, just like, hey, let's give coins. Kind of cool, I guess. So this is your 2 mana, 3/2. Combo, deal 1 damage. I wouldn't waste a coin on this guy. No. I mean, the best you got would probably be dropping a 1-drop on turn 3 and using them. So I don't know if I'd use a coin to do 1 damage ever for just about any reason, because at that point I'd just use your weapon, just wait, and just I mean, yeah, you have a 3/2 on the board, so that's kind of nice, but I think there's better inspire. I think there's better common inspire cards that you could probably use instead. Combo in 1 damage isn't usually ideal, so not a fan of this one. Just wait for SI Agent. Beneath the Grounds, the one card I really actually like. This is probably in my top 10. I'm going to do a top 10 list eventually, because I found a neat top 10 list that I completely disagree with, lo and behold. So I'm going to probably go over that list next. But yeah, so 3 mana, Beneath the Grounds, shuffle 3 ambushes into your opponent's deck. Whenever you're drawn, you summon a 4/4 Nerubian. So how this card actually works is, like it says, you play this card, 3 ambushes, which are just cards that just are called ambush, and whenever the opponent draws the ambush, as it says, the card disappears and it appears, and a 4/4 Nerubian ends up on your side of the board. So it's a neat card in the fact that not only are you gaining tempo, but you're also gaining board control at the same time. On 3 separate occasions. And if we've seen with like the bombs or some of the other cards where it shuffles cards into your opponent's deck, usually it's in like the top, like it shuffles the 3 cards into the top 5 cards. So I mean, if you just go off percentages, there's not very many cards in your deck. Very low percentage that you're not going to run into a 4/4 in the next 2 or 3 turns. So you're taking away tempo because they're not getting that card draw. You are adding board control to your side. And especially in a top deck situation, this card is absolutely brutal. I like this card when they start adding discard cards. Like, I'm surprised Rogue doesn't have a lot of cards where it's like, hey, have your opponent discard 2 cards or something to that effect, where you're basically you're killing their tempo very slowly. That seems very in line with how rogues should be playing, because you're kind of sapping them, of their tempo. I'm surprised that mechanic's not in the game. I guess it's because it's not very fun, but this becomes absolutely insane once either you're in an endgame like top deck, or yeah. So just in general, I like this card a lot. Burgle, 3 mana, add 2 random class cards to your hand from your opponent's class. Again, this is kind of like a bad priest card. not a big fan. Neat art, I guess, but it's probably not going to get you synergy. Rogues have very strong synergy potential with their cards, and really rogues are looking for cheap spells which they can cast that remove things off the board, and the only real class that has that is, I guess technically, Hunter, Mage, and Shaman kind of do, so maybe it's not that bad, but I just know that if I was playing it, that I'd end up with, you know, like a fireball, and you're just like, I can't really combo off this, and it's just gonna sit in my hand for like the entire game. Even though it's like 6 damage, it'll probably just sit in my hand unless I'm out of cards to play. So yeah, I wouldn't waste a turn 3 on it. I mean, I like Sprint more than this card for sure. So yeah, I don't think this will see play. Oh, let's see, 3 mana, Shady Dealer, 4/3, Battlecry. If you have a pirate, gain 1/1. Pretty cute. 3 mana 4/3 is pretty strong. 3 mana 5/4 is really strong. This is not the card that pirates need. They need more pirates. Because if you can, like, if this was a Shady Dealer and this was pirates, then yeah, okay, I could see something like this being actually really good, actually. As it is, it's nice stats. It won't see play in the meta, in Constructed, and probably won't see play in Arena. But damn, if you make a pirate deck, that could get kind of silly, having a 5/4 on the board on turn 3, or even turn 2, if you play Buccaneer. Like turn 1, play Buccaneer, turn 2, play Coin, Shady Dealer. It's pretty cool. So, but again, going back to this, you won't have a weapon at that point, so who really cares? Let's see, Poison Blade, 4 mana. Your hero power gives this weapon 1 attack instead of replacing it. So 1 attack weapon, 3. So yeah, this is really, really, really bad, especially for the 4 mana. This is, I mean, it would take what, 3 or 4 turns to get up to the value of what a of hero powers, to get up to the value of what what is a Perdition's Blade is? Not Perdition's Blade, what am I talking about? To get up to the value of, let's see, Did I completely walk by it? Yes, I did. Yeah, Perdition's Blade. So yeah, I mean, I mean, Perdition's Blade is absolutely better than that card. Cogmaster's Wench. The Wrench is definitely better than that card. Where's the dagger I'm thinking of? I'm totally missing it now. Okay, I'm apparently blind. I cannot find it. Point being, it's not a very good card. So, I'm gonna look back at this video and be like, why did you miss that card that you're talking about? Yeah, but it's like not Brutality Blade. That's a different dagger in WoW. But yeah, you get the idea. So, point being, there's a common card that is way better than this card. I think it's what, like 4/3 or 4/2 or whatever it ends up being, or 5. No, it's 3/2. Anyway, yeah, it's just using your hero power to replace the attack instead is not very good. Don't pick up this card. Not very good in Arena, not very good anywhere. If this was 1 mana, I could see maybe a value for it, but yeah, definitely not at 4 mana. Shadowpan Rider, 5 mana, 3/7 combo, gain 3 attack. It's incredibly strong. The stats are pretty bonkers, actually. 3/7 is going to stay on the board, and if you can give this 3 attack and turn it into a 6/7, that's pretty bonkers. If you can give something you're attacking with 3 attack, or if you can just get this guy out cheaply, I mean, it gains you value so fast. And this is, I like this card quite a bit. This might even make it into, I'm actually thinking this might actually even make it into a oil deck. It's so strong, because oil, you know, the health is really nice. It's sticky, so you can play oil later. It combos really nicely with the 3 attack, and yeah. So in general, I actually like this card quite a bit. There's not very many other 5-drops that work, but yeah, like this card. And finally, a Nubarak. I'm not quite sure what they were thinking with this card. They could have easily turned this into a 5-mana 4/4 that summons a 4/4 Nubrian and returns it to your hand, and I think that would have just been just as balanced. Maybe not 4/4, but you could turn it into like a 3/4 or something like that. Actually, that would have been very interesting. Have it being a 3/4, and instead you get 4/4 out of the summon whenever Death Rattles. It doesn't fit with the thematic of a Nubarak being stronger than Nubians, but you know, it is what it is. So at 9 mana, it's kind of unplayable. You could 9 mana 8/4. I mean, it's gonna die. It's gonna kill something, and then it's gonna die, and you have to play 9 mana to get it back out again. This is definitely one of those top deck situations, or one of those cases. You know, this card actually kind of gains you tempo in a weird sort of way. So imagine, you know, you hit 9 mana, you play it. He has to kill it. He has to kill it no matter what. I mean, even if he spends some sort of removal on it, he's gonna have to kill it. Turns into a 4/4. You've maintained board control, kind of, and you've maintained your tempo, so because you have this guy back in your hand. You're gonna play him again, and you gained a card because of that turn. You didn't lose any cards because you have, you know, he removed it, but you still gained board. You still maintain board control even after it was removed from the board, and you also, you know, kept the card. I think people are underselling this card quite a bit, actually. If this meta slows down so that you can reliably get to 9 mana, this is like Kel'Thuzad strong, I'd say. And I mean, with Kel'Thuzad, it gets kind of crazy. With Baron Rivendare, it gets really crazy, like as far as value goes. So yeah, I like this card quite a bit, actually. And I really do think that the meta will slow down, and I think we'll see kind of a resurgence of Control Rogue that we've not seen since, gosh, man, it was definitely before Miracle. So, and that was like a year ago. So I think that was beta actually last time that we had Control Rogue. I mean, remember Spell Power Rogue? Yeah, that lasted for a long time. So yeah, so I like this card quite a bit. I think the meta is going to slow down regardless. I think we're going to get to 9 mana games. At least Rogue will, where they can build a deck around it. And if you get to 9 mana with a Nubarak, I think you win. I think you'll just end up winning because there's just too much board control and tempo. And you're not really losing anything, like ever. So all you're really losing is the fact that you can't play anything else whenever you play a Nubarak. But who really cares, because it's 8/4 on the board, and he has to take care of it, otherwise he loses. So unless he has a silence, yeah, you basically win. So I like that card quite a bit. So let's do goats and possible winners for Priest. So I think the goat of this deck is going to be Shadow Fiend. I think this will end up not being quite as amazing as some people think it's going to be. And the winner for this deck that will come out of nowhere is going to be, I think Holy Champion is going to be really strong. I'll go with Flash Heal. I think Flash Heal is going to be silly. It's going to be absolutely silly. I mean, 5 damage. I mean, imagine that said 5 damage instead for 1 mana, and that's why it's so powerful. So yeah, that's going to be silly. For Rogue, the goat is, we already know Poison Blade's going to be bad. We already know Burgle's going to be bad. I think the goat is going to be Cut Purse. Cut Purse. I just don't think the coins are going to be as valuable. Like, I don't think you really need more than one. So I think you just play around it. And the winner, Chicken Dinner, I think it's going to be a Nubarak. I think there will be a deck built around him. I think someone will figure out a slow rogue controlling deck that gets to turn 9 and wins with a Nubarak, and obviously other cards, but with a Nubarak as its staple. So yeah, that's it. So that's Priest and Rogue. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sure did, and I will see y'all soon. Next time we're gonna go over Shaman and Warlocks, and then eventually Warriors. I think for the commons, I'm gonna go through and do the legendaries first. Legendaries and epics, and then we'll figure out if doing the rares and the commons are even worth it. I'll kind of do a little bit of homework into that. I think so. There's quite a few commons that look pretty good, like Lily Squire. This Bone Guard Lieutenant's actually pretty silly. So the Lance Carrier is actually a lot of fun. Yeah, there's quite a few good commons out there. So we'll probably actually go through them. Yeah, I think we will. So anyway, hope y'all enjoyed it. Take care, and I will see y'all later. Thanks. Bye.